Well, both of those should make me at least somewhat survive. In theory, that's 10. Normally a DC for a death save is roughly like 7 to 10, depending on how bad. That's pretty bad.
Well,
that should still keep me alive. I'm not full health alive, but I'm alive.
So, your weapon, inadvertently, because I know it wasn't on purpose, hit it so that one of the bulbs exploded. That's what they did.
Okay, so it's exactly what my adventurer was expecting. As I said, that's either A, an obvious weak point and I should stab them, or B, it's going to explode, do damage to me and the creature, and I should stab it.
Yeah.
Either way, I should stab it.
Your character was right.
So it does damage to the creature as well,
Yeah.
because it sprayed acid.
It exploded. One explosion triggered. I don't
So
know.
it triggered all of the explosions, and now the thing is dead.
It's dead, but the end-out explosion was massive in comparison.
Yeah.
So,
Once again, so lucky I'm a patchwork because I can survive anything with a death save, and because I'm infected, they're not done at disadvantage like other races would have.
yeah. So you survive in shambles, but your familiar has unsummoned itself.
Could you hand me one of those? Alright, I'll reach into it.
What?
He asked for one, you just didn't hear it.
I,
Your no ears having that?
my only really having enough attention span for one thing?
I know. You're fine.
I'm ready to crush the frozen. Anyways,
Don't trip on the bag.
it's fine.
It's a bag. How's it gonna do
You'd
Anyways,
be
so
surprised.
the creature's dead. I'm gonna assume I don't get much experience from that because it was the creature destroying itself.
that? Yeah.
I mean, I get a little bit for activating it, but I
Just
can't.
shove it in
imagine
your
how
mouth and
much.
open it. Just
No.
no.
That's why it was doing that.
Oh, I don't like that. I'll bite you. Okay then. Anyways. No.
Let's not do this. We're recording.
Yeah.
Anyways, so my
Don't
I
need some weird ASMR right now.
I killed the creature. Does the sword like shoot out of the hole?
Okay, so from
I now have a boss item. Sword of Explosions.
so where you and your spider used to be, you landed like somewhere on
Once
the
again,
farm.
I used Rook, so I just took my follower's damage and I survived the death save.
You survived the death save, but it dealt more damage than you had HP.
Yes.
So that stuff rolls over everything around you. Luckily,
That's fair.
your familiar doesn't just die; it just unsummons itself when it takes too much damage.
So I can just resummon it once I'm out of combat.
Once you're out of once it has enough time to heal itself.
Fair.
You are without Spider Boy for a period of time.
Anyways, so I've killed that thing, right?
Yes.
Its corpse is in front of me, right?
No.
Or it's just gone.
It's
It
just
is
gone.
reduced to atoms.
So you fell. It bounced you in the air. You fell somewhere around in the farm. One of the farmers come over to you and be like, "I can't believe you even did that. Are you okay?"
Probably.
Just pokes you with a stick. You ain't dead, is you? Heard you thinking.
I just like on the floor. I'm alive. It's fine.
I always heard you thinking were tough critters to put down. Just keeps poking you in the head.
Could you not? Could you not do that, perhaps?
Well, what were you looking for? Me and my boys will help you out.
What should I call this character? Because I just came up with a really like
Okay.
lady voice.
So you're gonna help me with whatever
Well, you're
materials I
Gretchen.
needed. You're gonna help me with whatever materials I needed from your farm.
Alfie! Alfie, what's going on?
We can go get grub.
So, anyways,
We can go get grub.
the materials I need from you. Can I have like just a bag to carry the materials I'm gonna need? Obviously, out. already got a bag full of suspicious sharp objects here. I need another bag for suspicious objects from you.
Yeah, I can do that for you.
You have a large amount of digging supplies.
We
And
got shovels. We got hoes.
Perhaps a tarp or some sort of large blanket. A couple of them, preferably.
Don't worry. Gretchen can have those stitched up for you within the hour.
Do you have
What'd you
anything?
say?
I need you to stitch up a quilt.
A couple,
Why did you
preferably.
say so?
And could I have anything incredibly flammable you have on hand? You likely have fertilizer, and lots of fertilizers are fairly explosive if you use them correctly. I'd also
Fertilizer.
like a bag for that.
Fertilizer. Oh, you being cow shit.
Well, that's not quite what I meant. That won't work for my plans. Actually, some of it will. I'll take like a bag of that if you have it.
Yeah, we got some of that over there in the pile. You can go pick some of that. I'm not touching it. It's
Do
that.
you have like a bag that I could carry that in as well?
Yeah, but it's still gonna stink a bit. I hope you're okay with that.
Interesting. That'll work great.
Okay.
So I
then.
wait to gather these supplies. I'm getting a bunch of like digging materials, a couple of large tarps, and this manure apparently.
Your tarps are probably gonna be quilts knitted by a real old lady.
Yeah.
They're gonna be large quilts.
Yeah, I'm going
They're
to-
gonna work for my needs.
Oh, trust me.
Yeah. You're from Oregon. You know how much they love sewing quilts.
Yeah. Anyways, so I have those materials. Does my mount heal in the meantime?
Give it like how many tarps do you want exactly?
I want like 2 large tarps.
Large enough to cover this whole floor or cover the whole house?
How large was the opening to the cave?
About a city block. About a block.
Enough to cover that.
That's gonna take a
That's
few
gonna
days to
take
I'm gonna
make.
need 2 of them.
That's
Two-
gonna take
That'll
a
take
few
like
days.
a day and a half.
My spider can carry that. Or my pack mule.
He's just sticking it on the fucking spider.
I've got the constitution to carry the manure and
This
swords.
old lady's just furious.
She's like,
hitting away.
So during
yeah,
that
man.
time, my
This
mount
big
heals and I
rock.
get all my materials prepared. And now I have a bag of sharp objects. Sharp, poorly maintained objects. A bag of digging supplies and, like, hose which I can break up harder earth with. Maybe a pickaxe or 2 if they find a rock stuck in there somewhere. And a bag of manure.
Yeah. Just a bag of it. Just
And,
not
like,
much.
2 gigantic quilts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. What? You're worried?
I don't like this.
So once I get the quilts, I'm cutting like a couple holes in the tops of one of them, wrapping them up and taking my spider back to the hole.
Dear God, I don't like any of this, Thomas.
What do you mean?
This is a real Goblin Slayer type preparations, okay? I don't like this.
I have no idea
Are
what
you
you're
like
talking
planning
about.
to explode the hole? That sounded bad.
I was wanting to do that, but I can't find anything flammable to just destroy them. So I guess I gotta get creative.
I don't like this. This is like,
This MacGyver ass.
dude, this is like Goblin Slayer. I hate it. You can't use fire, water, or poison. Alright then.
I'll come up with something more interesting. So we're back at the hole, right?
Yeah.
We're approaching the den. So above the den, I just like throw down the tarp over it and stab a couple of holes into the holes I pre-cut. Make sure it just stays there for a bit.
Alright.
It's a quilt. It's gonna make it so things can't see or hear me very well.
Okay.
How much time do you say I realistically have?
An amount.
Interesting. I'm going to dig a hole in front of the cave. I don't want any more.
Okay.
So I've dug a hole, like a large hole.
How big is this hole?
It's going to be like maybe a few feet deep trench in front of the cave.
Okay. Call initiative.
I was going to say I have more preparations.
Oh no, just call initiative.
I'm putting a few swords into that hole.
Just call initiative at some point when you're digging the hole. Don't worry.
So they're going to notice despite
Oh,
this
I'm not
thing.
saying it's from the hole. Just something is picking a fight with you.
Okay. So I've dug the trench.
You're in the process of digging the trench.
Okay, my spider still has my supplies. I can take this down. Spear.
Call initiative.
Cool. Spades.
Roll the
For
dice.
spider. Close, obviously. So its roll is slightly worse than mine.
Yeah.
Which means I go first and just sort of notice it approaching me because it's doing it so poorly.
Yeah. So
What is
this
it?
giant pumpkin mound type of monster just hobbles towards you from the outskirts of the hole. Like it's walking all the way around and it doesn't like what you're doing. It's concerned, so it's hobbling over to you.
How far away is it?
We'll say combat starts at 150 feet between the two of you. So it's about a little less than 150 feet away.
Okay, so I'm stepping onto my spider, ordering it to use its actions to approach. And once I'm within range, I'm stabbing. Like 6 times, maybe. Keep in mind, my stabs in total do 6 cards of damage, and then that damage is doubled because I'm mounted and using a lance.
Good goodness.
Maybe we regret it.
I don't regret it. It's kind of a weapon used for it's Ryder's main weapon, other than ranged weaponry.
Do you want me to call a suit for damage?
Yes. I actually call soup for if you hit.
Hearts.
Queen of diamonds, you hit.
And hearts for the damage as well. I'm essentially doing 1 S of damage.
That is exactly 1S.
But I'm also doing that 6 times. I still have 2 actions after that.
Thomas,
Yes.
this times 12. Times 2. I don't like you.
What do you mean?
Why is it that when I don't need you guys to get good rolls, you and Javi kill everything?
I'm getting just stab, stab, stab,
Because
stab,
F you,
stab, stab,
that's
stab,
why.
stab, stab. And it's dead now?
Alright, so it's 9
It has
times
died.
12 times 2. In one action, you do 216 damage.
Yes. And I have 7 more actions to stab.
What am I gonna do with this one?
Do you want me to continue stabbing it, perhaps? That's my think.
Well, I mean, like, mine was in what looked like a shot glass, honestly, so.
Alright.
There's a Canada Dry. There's a lot of those here.
Yeah, that one needs to get tossed out. That's been here for a little bit, and bugs will start living in it a little bit.
Anyways, let's continue without talking about how disgusting your apartment is.
We'll just edit that out. It's fine. Alright. Do you want to call hearts again? Because I kind of want to just shuffle and redraw to see how much...
I'm calling hearts for the remainder of my 7 stabs.
Okay. So, okay, so this is the little cards I had. So this is the first one. 2 times 12 is
So,
24.
not great damage.
11 times 12 is 132.
Yes.
132 times 2.
This thing's dead. It's dead.
Yeah.
It has died.
Alright.
So I can go back to preparing my hole.
Yeah.
How much time would you say I roughly still have?
You finish the hole before something else comes up trying to fight you.
So you know what I'm doing with my plan for the hole then.
I
And
have
I've
an
already
idea.
set up my trap. And I don't have to explain it to you.
I have an idea if it's based off a Goblin Slayer.
It isn't.
Isn't?
I got creative. Green is not a creative color.
I don't think I saw what's gonna happen. But I'm gonna hate this because I know anyone that's watching this video will probably know what's going to happen and I look stupid. Sure, Thomas, what the hell are you planning?
I'll like set up my tarp over the trench I've dug, like a pretty sizable trench.
Right.
and it's got sharp things in it set up somehow. Yeah, we'll just open up the tarp and let the thing see me. Like, tear down the one from the top. The two things that were holding it up, like, clatter to the ground super loudly behind me. I'm just standing here menacingly on top of my spider, holding, like, something producing light to make myself as obvious as goddamn possible.
Oh, goodness.
So what do they do?
Andy? Danny?
I'm not fucking Andy. What?
Like, suddenly their cave was dark and then it's flooded with light. I'm holding a light source standing up
Danny,
super
do the
high.
voice again?
Is that little child voice? Like the same line you showed me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Come join us, come join us, come join us!
So they start to float toward. A lot of the pumpkins, solid pumpkins, start to float towards you, and at the base, like the very bottom of the hole, you see what looks like an orange light, and another one of those pumpkin golem things.
Cool, I'm going to take a shovel and chuck it at the back. Whatever has weight behind it, I want it to come out.
Give me a strength check.
Spades.
I'm terrified of you.
Why?
Just terrified in general.
That's why. He called spades. We got the king of goddamn spades.
I think I beat this man.
Awaken. Awaken the heavy thing. With shovel power.
So,
Shovel.
you know, Faust, if you had gotten the whole town away, this would have been done a lot sooner, but you didn't. And so you did it yourself. So, but dear gosh, man, you and these Goblin Slayer-esque plots.
I don't know what you're talking about. My other plans were other things, but this plan will work. I'll explain it once the creature steps on the obvious trench, which I've like covered up the tarp with some dirt.
Now, Thomas, do you want to know the downside of your plot?
Yes.
This hole
It
isn't
assumed
like
it had weight.
this hole isn't like it's a straight fall.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing that you threw this at,
Mm-hmm.
you see a large orange eye open up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so I'm on a giant living thing.
The eye opens up,
I appear to have made an incredible error.
and then two things go shooting straight out of the hole.
Can I take shovels and just clank them?
They're too big. Like, I'll even let you...
Jeff, two soldier, just clank.
I'll even let you
Clank.
try, and as you try, they get broken up from the speed and weight of what just went shooting into the air. As they pass you, what you think you saw were two large seeds.
Okay.
Give it like 5 minutes.
Creatures appear behind me and approach.
Shunk, shunk. Just two, yes, very, very large pumpkin seeds, like the size of a
So they grow into a creature rapidly.
They kind of break open behind you, and vines fall out.
There's the living creature, and as I said, it hatches into a pumpkin monster. This is obvious.
I
This
wish
is so obvious.
I wish that's what it was. You see a bulb inside of it, right?
Which
inside
hatches into a
No,
pumpkin monster.
inside the bulb. The bulb is about the size of a beach ball, and there's a child sitting in it, just kind of
Oh, that's just...
incubating inside of it. And the tendrils start to... I don't like the motions you're doing. Just throwing it at you. Are you attacking
Why
the
do you
child?
think I have so many miscellaneous farming supplies?
Why are you attacking the child?
Why are you throwing miscellaneous farming supplies at the child
The
that's
children
incubating?
have clearly been stolen and turned into monsters. This is a classic adventuring scenario. I'm killing them. I apologize to your family members. They were returned. If you saw them, you'd be horrified. It was a mercy kill.
I hate you.
Why?
Because this is exactly how Goblin Slayer does things. Why are you playing Goblin Slayer?
I'm not.
Are you Pumpkin Slayer? What the hell?
No. This is not meant to parallel anything.
I find that incredibly hard to
It
believe.
actually isn't. I'm just thinking of strategies, and Glad keeps shooting down my strategies.
Okay. Oh man, give me a strength check.
Clubs.
Clubs. It's like you want the single party. You crazy madman.
I desire chaos.
Well,
So it turns out well.
No, the DC was slight. Wait, what's your strength stat?
5.
That's a. No. It was literally like 2 points above what you needed.
Strength of 5.
Yeah, that's your strength bonus is 1.
I rolled a 9. That's a good roll.
Yeah, it's just not. It was close. It was like really like a hairline difference, which, gosh,
So I do it close enough to where the thing would have to respond.
it does respond.
I don't do like major direct damage, but I nick the exterior of the
So
shell.
the vines essentially shoot up, protecting the seeds, and grab onto the weapon. And now you've armed the vines.